You guys can see my screen and we're going to get started. Excellent. Okay, so guys, here's the thing. You have probably seen 1,000 different presentations by 1,000 different people, most of them not quite as handsome as Kevin and not as caring as Rodney and definitely better sounding than I am. However, all of those have one single problem. They all present the same model at the end of the day. And we have a history of coming up with companies and projects and ideas that don't fit that model. Okay, so let me walk you through the standard model, and then I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. So this is how the standard, whatever you want to call it, MLM, network marketing, affiliate marketing, however you're going to go about it, at the end of the day, they all follow a simple pattern. And how it goes is that you, who is right here, has to get your Aunt Edna, who is probably in her 50s and just wants to help you out in your new business. You get her to buy a bunch of stuff from random company number 55. And that's another company that you have joined this year because you believe that this year is going to be the year that you're going to do something different. And so this year you're going to sell essential oils, or maybe you're going to sell a different kind of potion, and maybe whatever. But this is the standard pattern that follows. Aunt Edna is going to spend a bunch of money. We're going to put X dollars there. Okay, she's going to spend some amount of money buying stuff from this company, and this company is going to give Y dollars to you. Okay. Now, if any of you have had the fortune of being in a situation like this before, give me a 4 in the chat. All right, look at that. Pretty much everybody. Okay, so pretty much everybody has had the embarrassment of having to go through this. All right, now, occasionally you can really get behind the product and it's a genuinely good service or a genuinely good product. That's great. But by and large, this income model is flawed. And I think all of you get that this income model is flawed. Here's why it's flawed. Y dollars right here, this figure right here is always less than this figure right here. That means mathematically, the only way that you make profits is that somebody else loses, and oh, by the way, you make less than they lose, right? You don't even break even on that. This is the fundamental problem with network marketing concepts. And that's why, people kind of distance you from themselves when this keeps happening over and over. So we have always found a problem with this. And every single time that we have started something, there's been one key element. The key element has always been that Aunt Edna must be able to make more money or must receive something more than what she spends in. Okay. And what we've done this time basically takes to the next level. Essentially, our concept behind the new platform that we've finally been able to make after a long time and a lot of legal stuff is that you can finally go to Aunt Edna and say, hey, Aunt Edna, I have something for you that you have to spend $0 on, nothing at all on, and it's going to help you tremendously. In fact, it's going to help a whole lot of things in your life. And you still receive the Y dollars, and that Y dollars happens to be in the hundreds of dollars. Now, who thinks that's probably a better model than anything else you've done before? Okay, if you think so, please say maybe 7. All right, so everybody agrees this is a significantly better model. And the other problem that we have always had is that when you join random company number 5, you eventually end up on random company number 55 because you're always jumping all over the place because there's something to be said about something that's trendy, something that's new. You need to be able to do multiple things at the same time. So we didn't just stop here. We didn't just say, okay, let's have this one thing that you can do. We ended up building a platform where you have multiple different opportunities at any given time where you can give things away or you can participate in some opportunity or some trend or some industry that's up and coming very powerfully, and you can take advantage of that. So the purple liquid is just one of the things that you're going to see here. There's actually a whole lot more to it. I'm going to go through some of that with you in a second. But let me just tell you really quickly one key condition and why we will have a QA after this, a Q&A session. There's one very significant key condition before we will choose to add something as an opportunity on our platform. And that's what we call barrier to entry. So I see a lot of you guys have done e-commerce stuff with us before. Okay. Now, when we started the e-commerce stuff in 2013, it was a brand new thing. There was significant barrier to entry because most people didn't know about it. Most people didn't know about drop shipping or sourcing products and so on. And it wasn't very easy to get started with things like eBay and Amazon at the time. So there was a barrier to entry. There was some advantage in you being in there. We believe that that same thing always has to exist. So what we do, the opportunities and trends that we bring into our platform all have a significant barrier to entry, whether it's legal barrier to entry, whether it's a knowledge-based one. It's something that not everybody else can do out there. Okay, because here's what I've often seen. You join a company to sell coffee or something, and then your neighbor is joining another coffee to sell coffee, whatever. At the end of the day, you're all selling the same stuff from different companies. That can't happen here. We choose those trends based on this barrier to entry. Does everybody understand why that's such a powerful thing? Say yes if you understand that. We're not going to use numbers this time. Okay, awesome. So you have people out there that are still selling the same stuff that they were selling in 2005, 2010, 2012, and they still keep, milking the same audience, selling them the same thing over and over for no particular reason when the world moves on, right? The world has changed. Almost nothing today is the same as it was 10 years ago, and that's exactly how we perceive these industries and trends as well. We have to keep changing, and we have to keep adding things that have a barrier to entry at the time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Kevin walk you really quickly through the UpGroup platform, what that looks like, and then we're going to take the first opportunity in there very specifically, which is going to be all about the purple liquid that we will be able to give away. So Kevin, if you can walk through what the platform looks like and how there are different opportunities set up in there, and then I'm going to take the first one and walk them through how that works.
All right, you should be able to hear me now. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to show you guys this. Let's go over here. I'm going to share my screen. Let me know when you guys can see it. Pop in that chat. Let me know. You guys should be able to see a screen. It shows you the UpGroup back office. And real quick, who here is already inside of the UpGroup? Let me know. Very cool. All right, very cool, very cool. I got a ton of people on here going, yes, 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 me, 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 me. So you guys already know how powerful this is, okay? So let me show you guys what we do in here. So when somebody first comes into the UpGroup, we walk them through an orientation, a quick orientation. We give them links that they can promote the system because you can. You can promote the system and grow an income. We do insane amounts of trading, guys. Like almost every day we're on webinars these days. It's nuts. But what we're doing in UpGroup, are you guys seeing, what screen are you guys seeing? Are you seeing the back office UpGroup? Give me a yes. You see it. You see the back office UpGroup. Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's what you should be saying. Very cool. So what we do is we leverage multiple opportunities and we leverage multiple trending opportunities. So one of the opportunities that we leverage in here is called metabolic design. All right. This is a CBD product. Who here, real quick, is taking CBDs? I just want to know. Give me a 1 in the chat if you guys are on CBDs, you're taking CBDs, or you're interested in it because you see what's going on in the CBD space. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. And give me a 2 if you're like, I don't really know much about it, but I hear everyone talking about it. I know it's a trending thing. Yeah, right? So what we do is we give you a way to go ahead and promote the highest quality CBDs that are out there. All right, this is one of the trends inside of the system. And this is huge. This is huge. It's trending like insane right now. Let me show you something. This right here, okay, guys, let me show you this. This is the projected growth of CBDs between 2018 and 2022. So when we talk about some of the trends that we put in here that you're able to go ahead and sell, this is one of the reasons why we do it. Because right now it's sitting at $591 billion, $591 million in 2018. It's going to $22 billion. This trend is going up fast. You guys are going to be able to leverage this and grow an income by selling and getting commissions on when you sell the highest quality CBDs out there with some pretty cool funnels. I'm going to show you how you guys can get those funnels tonight. All right. Now, this right here, okay, just this right here, does this remind you guys of anything? For those of you who sold with us on Amazon, does it remind you of this kind of chart right here where Amazon went crazy? This is what Amazon did, right? And now we're in a position to do this with CBDs. So if you're in this space, if you're not in this space, you are actually missing out right now, currently, on a trend that is going insane. The demand for this is skyrocketing, and you're able to just go ahead and just ride that wave. As the demand goes up, you can sell more and more of that product. So we teach you how to go ahead and do that. We give you the best quality CBDs out there, hands down, period. All right. And you'll see, if you go inside this back office and this training, you'll see us comparing them to other CBDs out there that are just kind of garbage. So there's one of the trends that we do. All right. One of the trends that we do. And we actually give you sales funnels for this. Capture pages, sales pages. You can track your clicks. You can track your leads. You can track your sales by literally clicking 3 buttons to go ahead and set those up. Does that sound cool? Being able to do that in the CBD space. All right. Give me a 3 if that sounds cool. All right. And I'll walk you guys through how that works. Now, that's one of the trends in here. Okay. There's going to be more trends we're going to be adding, but the main ones that we're focusing on right now are CBDs, because if you're not selling that, you're just missing it. You're seriously missing it. There's so many people out there that are interested in this stuff. You're missing the boat. Number 2, we have something called Carefree Now, and Natasha's going to touch on this, and that's when I was talking about if you give it away, you can make a lot of money doing that. That's that cancer screening kit. That's that purple liquid. We're going to talk about here in a second. But you can also sell UpGroup as a marketing platform, okay? You can have people come into this system, be able to go over to their pro training, all right, and get in here. And for those of you who were on the webinar with us last night, if that's you, be like, I was there. We do all kinds of training, right? We do, you have a start here in your training tab. We do pro webinars every week. We have bonus training on things like time management and Facebook ads we're adding back there. And you can register for those webinars. And you can now, tonight, what we're going to discuss in about an hour from now is how you can create campaigns. You can actually come back here, deploy a campaign, say, I want a CBD wellness campaign that also ties into UpGroup. Let me grab that. And then you click on it, and you can go ahead and create your campaign right here. You just add a tracking ID if you want to. You name it, you hit submit, and you've got a capture page and a sales page that's tracking your leads and your sales for you. It's that easy. All right, we're going to be teaching that tonight. Okay, and I had an awesome question. There are 2 levels inside of UpGroup. Okay, once you guys get back here, for those of you who are in here, right? Once you get back here, what you'll do is you go and watch the videos on this dashboard, and it'll walk you through how to set up your account. But then you go to your system setup, and you choose which opportunities you want to promote. Some of you are going to see Carefree in a minute, and you're going to go, man, that's what I wanted to do. I don't like that CBD stuff, Kevin. I get it. It's a trend. I understand it. It's great. Whatever. Don't want to do it. And some of you are going to go, you know what? I want to focus on CBDs. And some of you might say, you know what? I want to build an organization. I want to bring people into UpGroup. And when they sell CBDs, I want to get an income on that. That's good. Some of you are going to do that, right? And so you have the opportunity to turn on these different income centers. You just click a button, and now it's active for you. And in order to activate these, Metabolic Design and Carefree, you'd have to be at a pro level, which is $39 a month. But that gives you access to to sell CBDs, Metabolic Design, to promote Carefree, to promote the system, to have the automation, to get on weekly webinars with me where I walk you through this stuff, twice a week, in fact, and then 1 opportunity call to grow your business. So it's funny because a couple months back, we launched out a system, and the feedback was it would be great if it had all these amazing things. Have you ever joined a system and thought it would be wonderful if they had capture pages and sales funnels and did training and had opportunity webinars? Give me a 2 if that's you. If you ever joined a system and they didn't have what you needed to actually build it, right? They didn't have it. Well, people asked for this exact system. And we said, that's a unicorn. It doesn't exist. And then we went out and built it to give people a way to earn 40% commissions on when they promote the system, 25% commissions on when they promote the actual Metabolic Design CBD products, right? Earn a service fee when they promote Carefree, all right? Grow an income when they promote, but then also earn a check match, 10% check match on anything that your downline makes. So if you refer somebody in here and they make $1,000, you're going to make $100, right? So if they make 1,000, you're going to make 100. And that goes 4 levels deep, 4 floors deep, all right? So not only do you have high income on the front end, but you're able to build up a residual income on the back end as well, okay? Does that sound cool, you guys? Give me a yeah in the chat if that sounds cool. And let me show you something, one of the best features that we have inside of this system. And this is what I think that this is the best, all right, is our group, okay? This is our Facebook group that we just started, like maybe 2 weeks ago. 743 members already, all right? Posts are just flying in. People have a lot to say, and we get a lot going on in here. And when we ask people if pro is the place to be, this is what you see, okay? Most companies won't ask their members, should somebody join? Because they'll get a bunch of gruff and feedback. They don't ask their members, are you making money? This is what our members are doing. And we just launched this a couple of weeks ago, and we did it a soft launch. We did it kind of quietly so we could work the bugs out of the system, all right? So that's where we are, guys. Pretty crazy. Comp plan details are simple. Comp plan details are simple, guys, inside of UpGroup, all right? If anyone joins the system, joins at Pro, which is $39 a month, Elite, which is $99 a month, you're going to get 40% commissions. Then you get 10% commissions on a check match on anything anyone in your organization does 4 levels deep. For metabolic design, 25% commissions on anything you sell, and anything that your downline sells, you get a check match on that as well. 10%, 4 levels deep. Okay? So that's simple. Does it get any easier than that? Right? It's simple. And a lot of you, I want to ask you a question. How many companies have you guys been in the last 5 years? Give me a number. How many companies have you bounced around to in the last 5 years? Okay? You got 3, 5, 3, plenty, a few, right? You have to jump around because you feel it and you see it too, right? The new shiny thing comes out, the new system comes out, the new trend comes out, and you hear everyone talking about that whole trend, but you also know that in 6 months from now, they're not going to be talking about that because the next shiny thing is going to come out. So what we do in UpGroup is we launch out multiple opportunities. Right now, we have a few opportunities in here, and you'll see more come out as we go ahead and enter those spaces. And that's why Hitesh said it has to be a high barrier to entry. It can't be something that anyone can just jump into. It has to be high barrier, high profit, and make sense for our users and our members. Then we launch that program in the system, and you guys are able to grow an income on that without having to jump and move your entire organizations. Are you not sick of that? Give me a yes in the chat if you're sick and tired of having to move your organizations. And every time you do, it gets worse and worse, doesn't it? Right? So UpGroup is the place where you can have everything you need on the marketing side. You get the training and the marketing from me, which my job is to teach you how to generate leads, sales, give you the tools, the resources, and the community for you to be able to do that, right? And then we bring on multiple opportunities that are actually suited to generate you an insane income. And we're going to talk about one that I think you guys are going to kind of flip over right now. I'm going to turn this back over to Tesh real quick and let him kind of walk through Carefree Now and how that actually works, because this is an insane opportunity that has a really high barrier to entry that every other company literally in this space are folding because they're not able to keep up with that barrier to entry. And we're able to enter this space and dominate. So I'm going to turn it over to him and let him go through that. I see you got your screen share on. Is that you, Hitesh? You got that screen share on your screen?
Yes. Thank you very much, Kevin. Sorry, go ahead, Rodney.
Before you get started, and I want to say, Kevin, thank you very much for doing a great job on the training and coaching for UpGroup and Metabolic Designs and Carefree Now. But I want you to try to hit on, if you don't mind me saying this, because I got a lot of questions that came to me. Says, why are we more illegal than everyone else that's out there? Because people have heard of this before and it hasn't worked out. People haven't gotten paid. So when you're going through this, if you can just tell the people why this company, Carefree Now, is above all, better than all the rest out there as well.
Absolutely. We'll go over all of that.
All right, thanks.
All right. Okay. Well, one really quick thing that I want to address is even about metabolic design really quickly. If we go back to the model that I discussed earlier, where Aunt Edna is forced to spend a bunch of money, you know how that usually works, right? That Aunt Edna is going to have to buy what they call a starter pack or something similar, and she has to buy a bunch of inventory up front so then she can become qualified to earn and stuff like that, right? So she'll have to buy $500 worth of CBDs before she can go pitch them to other people. Okay, that's one of the key differences between UpGroup and everything else. We don't think that's a sound business model. We don't think that is good to anybody. If somebody wants to buy CBDs, they should be able to buy CBDs, right? They shouldn't be forced into it because of the income opportunity. So you do not need to buy $500 or $1,000 or $10,000 worth of inventory to be able to promote and earn from it. That's one of the key things about UpGroup. UpGroup has an exclusive relationship with these companies. So Metabolic Design, if you go to their website, you can see their products, but you will find there is no way for you to become an affiliate or to promote them or do anything of the sort. You can only do that through the exclusive relationship we have with them. Okay, so that makes it very unique. It makes it very, very restricted. And that's one of the reasons why you don't have the competition that everybody else has to face. All right. Now, that same thing applies to the opportunity we're going to talk about here called Carefree Now. Okay, Carefree Now's whole idea is that it's a platform. It's actually going to be on the mobile app here soon as well. It's a platform where somebody can go, they can create an account, and it then figures out based on their medical history, based on their personal history, based on what they qualify for, it finds different medical services, medical things that they will be benefited from and allows them to take care of all of the things that are actually free to them. Okay. So one simple example is a particular service that's called CGX and PGX genetic testing. Okay. We're going to take that as an example. There are going to be many others that will be added in here over time, but we're going to start with that one first. Now, what does CGX, PGX mean? Essentially, anybody who has any history of cancer personally, or they've had cancer in their family, would benefit quite significantly from a CGX test. Okay, the CGX test is basically a genetic test. It looks at their actual genome and lets them know whether or not they have a higher risk for certain types of cancers. Now, keep in mind, this is not diagnostics. This is before diagnostics. This is basically saying, hey, based on your genetic makeup, you might have significant risk of these particular types of cancers, or you might have a risk of passing that on to your future generations, or something called PGX, where it says, if you are on these particular drugs, you're probably not going to get good effect from it. You should use a different medication instead. Now, just letting you know, guys know, in full disclosure, I've actually had to do both of these tests. I've had to do them for my son, for both cancer treatment and the PGX thing, to actually figure out what kind of chemo would be effective. So I've actually gone through this process myself. Okay, so this is a very personal thing. It's not just one day we were like, oh, that sounds like a good way to make money. So there's a personal reason why we're actually in the space. And what you are able to do now is actually go out there and give people your free Carefree Now link, ask them to create an account. They never expose any information to you, right? That's one of the reasons why this is so legal and so powerful. They don't expose their information to you. The patient, in this case, would come in, they would create their free account on Carefree Now, they would put their own information in here, they would put their medical history in here, and then the system figures out what things they would benefit from, all right? And if they benefit from one of those, in this case, let's say the CGX, PGX test, and that's what we mean by the purple liquid. It's a little kit that they receive at home that has a little purple liquid in it. They do a cheek swab, put the swab inside the purple liquid and ship it to a lab. And when they do that, and the lab does its analysis, you receive up to $550. Okay, so let's make sure that this is super clear. You are not selling Aunt Edna anything now. You are telling Aunt Edna, hey, you should go get a free account on Carefree Now, see what medical services you qualify for that will cost you nothing. There's no credit card information ever collected of any kind, so they can't even accidentally bill you. And you will receive, based on the tests that Aunt Edna qualifies for, once she does the whole process, you will receive up to $550. Okay, and that breaks down as follows. $200 for PGX and $350 for CGX. So if she qualifies for both, which is often the case, when somebody qualifies for CGX, they almost always qualify for PGX as well, you're looking at $550. Now keep in mind what that means. Remember what Kevin just said, that you get a check match on the earning of your entire sales team up to 4th level deep. Here's what that basically means. Anybody that you have referred to UpGroup as well, if they go out and do this test for somebody in their family, or they have this test done and they go share the swabs with other people out there, you're going to get $55 up to $20 for PGX and $35 for CGX every single time they give away a free thing. And if they bring somebody to UpGroup and that person goes and gives away a test, you will receive $55 on that as well. Okay, that's what makes it so powerful. It can really get out of control very quickly. And it's a very beautiful thing. This is the perfect thing that you actually want word of mouth advertising for. You really don't want look, I've never understood why you want word of mouth advertising for makeup. I've never really understood why you need that for containers, plastic containers to store food. But I can totally see why this is something that you do want and benefit from on this kind of a service. Because you know when somebody in your friends or family has actually had a situation where they will benefit from this, and you're selling them nothing. That's the whole power behind Carefree Now. Now, like I said, this is just the start. CGX, PGX are just the start. There's also a genetic carrier test. There are a few other things that are being evaluated right now. And like with metabolic design, this is an exclusive relationship. We actually have exclusivity with Carefree Now as UpGroup for a very simple reason. We actually built the EHR system, which means the electronic health record system for Carefree Now. Okay, so trust me when I say that we have a pretty solid reason why we are in here. Okay, so now let's walk through this process once, because I want to address a few things in here. At this point, hopefully, a lot of you are very cautiously interested and cautiously excited, because you're like, this thing, if it's legit, sounds crazy. Who here is in that boat right now? You're like, if this thing is legit, this is crazy, but let's make sure this is legit. If you are, just say, tell me it's legit. Okay, please put that in the chat, and let's go through the actual questions and let's address the real problems.
Hey, Hitesh, there's a gentleman in the chat, and he says, where is the money coming from? And
that is exactly what I'm going to, Rodney.
Okay, my bad.
Fear not. Fear not. All of this will be addressed before we get off this call. Okay? Here's what happens, guys. The reason why CGX PGX test is able to pay up group members a commission is because Carefree now receives a commission from the labs who do this test. And the labs receive that payment from Medicare, in some cases from Medicaid, and in some cases from other insurances, depending on the service. And why do insurances pay all that money? For a very simple reason. Basically, all the insurances, including Medicare and Medicaid and so on, they have a little matrix on their side where they look at it and they go, for every 1,000 people who take this test, we are able to prevent maybe 18 people from actually getting cancer. Okay, so we have prevented it in 18 people. Not only is that an emotional victory and a human life victory, but this can be measured, right? They can see that when somebody gets cancer, it costs the system X dollars, and by preventing it, they have saved that much. And that's why Medicare, Medicaid, different insurance companies, they go ahead and pay to the labs a reimbursement to actually perform this test. Now, you can't just go randomly perform the test. Okay, a doctor actually has to order this. That all has to be done. And that's what Carefree now does. Okay, and that's why this is such a powerful opportunity and so exclusive and so unique. No random company can just go out there and start doing it immediately, at least if they want to do it legally. Okay, there's a very specific process that has to be followed. So let's go through that process quick, okay? You go to Aunt Edna and you say, Aunt Edna, you got to check this thing out. I think you'll really benefit from this. So she creates an account on Carefree Now. Okay, so her step is a Carefree Now account. Okay, once she has created the Carefree Now account, the next step is going to be that she's going to fill in all of her information in there. That information is going to get passed if she is, legitimately looks like she'll be approved for it and she'll benefit from it. That information is going to be passed through the up group system, and it's going to let you as the referrer know that Aunt Edna qualifies. Okay, that she qualifies. Let's get her a kit. We'll come to that in a second. She will receive a kit and she will then schedule an appointment with the doctor. Now, this doctor is a teledoctor. They're going to actually call into her so she doesn't have to leave the house and she doesn't pay the doctor fees. The doctor fees are actually paid by Carefree Now as well. And we're not talking about one guy who's going to call them up. We're talking about in the thousands. We're talking about a network of over 1,000 doctors who are all situated to address very specific kind of scenarios. And a doctor will call in based on Aunt Edna's medical profile and say, hey, I received this information. Let's go over this and see if you'll benefit from this test. The physician will then go through her stuff and say, you know what, you will benefit from this. Let's send your sample to the lab. And now her sample will be sent to the lab. The lab will do their analysis. And once the lab receives the results, the lab is going to forward that information to Medicare, if that's what Aunt Edna is on, or Medicaid, if that's what she's on. And they are going to receive a reimbursement from Medicare. This is going to, in turn, pass on to Carefree Now. A portion of it, keep in mind, we want to be very clear, a portion of it goes to Carefree Now, not all of it. And Carefree Now then sends a portion of it to us, Up Group, where an Up Group, we distribute that as the referral commission for the person who referred Aunt Edna and as a check match to the people above that referring member. Okay? Does that make sense so far? Because we're about to get into some more specific questions. Let me know if all of this makes sense so far. And you can do that by saying yes. Okay, beautiful. Everybody started typing yeses. That's excellent. All right. Now, here's what happens with the results. Once the results are in, the lab shares the results with the physician. The physician calls Aunt Edna back. Okay, let's draw it all the way here. I know it's kind of becoming a mess on the screen now. The physician calls Aunt Edna and goes over the results with her. Again, she doesn't need to leave. She doesn't pay the physician. Carefree Now pays the physician. Okay? And in case, unfortunately, if there is a mutation found or something wrong found in that particular test, then there is a genomic counselor physician, somebody who's certified to perform genomic counseling, who will then contact Aunt Edna, go over the results, and so on. Okay? Now, like I said, All of this depends on what specific activities and what specific things she's going to qualify for. If she qualifies for CGX, it's going to be a slightly different process. If it's for PGX, it'll be a slightly different process. But there's only two things that you need to worry about. And there's, like I said, there's a few other things being added in there. There's only two things that you need to be concerned about in this entire process. Okay. The first thing is that you are in charge, you're responsible for referring Aunt Edna to Carefree Now. Okay. That's the first thing. And the second thing is you are in charge of making sure that Aunt Edna actually does the test, receives her kits, and moves on from there. So what does this kit cost? How much does this cost you to do this whole process? Once she finishes the form on Carefree Now, you will receive a notification saying, hey, you referred Edna and she qualifies for a kit. Let's drop ship a kit to her. And you will basically, inside Up Group, purchase a kit for her. Okay, and keep in mind this becomes available and unavailable at times. We'll go over that in a second. And you'll be able to drop ship a kit directly to her house. And that's the total cost of $25. So your total cost in this entire process is going to be this $25, which of course you're going to get paid in the background, $200, $350, or $550 total. Okay, so again, you're not going to have this cost up front, only once you have actually referred her in and she's gone through the process and it looks like she will actually be approved for it. So this is your single biggest catch in this entire process. Okay. And I don't think it's much of a catch, honestly, because like I said, this is the form of drop shipping where you are only buying the kit if you already know that she's going to qualify. Now, where can you find people like Edna in this scenario? The answer is everywhere. There is millions upon millions of people back there. And yes, Rodney, that is correct. If you're on the elite level, then your cost is lower. You can also buy kits in bulk and your cost goes down. These kits are coming straight from the manufacturing lab. They're not paid to us. We're not like, oh, let's make some money on this. The postage is already paid. So when the patient sends the kit back, they don't have to worry about the postage either. All of the instructions are in there. All of that is already taken care of. Okay. Now, in addition to this, we are also going to be adding in a lot of additional things from Carefree Now back here. So like I said, this is just the beginning. There are some other services that are currently in the process of adding back in as well. And each of them have different time periods. So let's talk about the time period of the actual payout. Now, from the day the lab receives the test, it takes anywhere from 20 to 60 days initially for Medicare to do the actual reimbursement. Okay. Now, the labs that we work with, those labs are a completely different scenario. We're talking about a very large scale. We are talking about payouts that often happen much faster than this. Okay. So right now we are on a structure with them where as soon as the Medicare reimbursement comes in, which like I said, the range is between 20 to 60 days, immediately within a few seconds, the payout is going to hit your account and you can withdraw from Up Group to your bank account, to your credit card, whatever you would like to do. As you continue doing this, as you move on and as you build a history with Up Group, these payouts get significantly faster. And we are looking at within a space of over the next 3 months, your payouts will move down to monthly and in some cases as quick as weekly, depending on the total volume that we are seeing from your particular account. Okay. Now, can you charge Edna shipping and handling? That's Bruce's question. That's between you and Edna, but Carefree Now or Up Group will never contact Edna to collect money from her. We don't want her to ever have to pay for the service. So if you have a personal connection, you're like, hey, I would like you to pay for the kit. That's between you and them. That's perfectly fine. If you want to order the kits in bulk and you want to sell them to people near you, or you want to give them to them and say, hey, I would like to get this test done for you, but I would like to cover this cost. That's up to you and them. That's not something that we take part in. There are a few conditions on this, though. Because this is such an actual medical service, since this is an actual medical thing, you cannot go out and incentivize people. There are some pretty simple rules and regulations that you can look at right here on your system setup. As you can see, it gives you some list of rules that you have to follow. You can't just go out there and offer people money and say, hey, I'm going to give you $10 if you go get this test done. That's absolutely illegal. If you're found doing that, you're going to be terminated. You won't get any payouts either. That's an actual Medicare rule. Okay, and I want to throw that out there because I want everybody to understand this is a genuine service that is focused around making sure that people are actually benefiting. Okay, now let's look at the audience size for this, though. We are looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of 54 million people in the US that are actually on Medicare. We're just talking about Medicare. Like I said, we have additional things back there that will cover other insurances and so on as well. We have additional people on Medicaid. We'll ignore that for now as well. Within that subset of 54 million people, now you need to think about how many people have had cancer or have history of cancer in their family or are on at least 2 different medications or have been on 2 different medications for maybe, their health, maybe their heart, maybe their blood pressure, stuff like that, maybe on paid meds. So you can kind of see very easily why there is such a massive demand for this, why so many companies are trying to get into this, why so many people are trying to be a part of something like this, and why so many of them are failing. The reason why so many companies are trying to break into this is because they see that there's a lot of money to be made, but they can't do it the right way. To do it the right way, this very specific process has to be followed, where a physician has to order the test, a physician and a genomic counselor have to follow up with the patient after the test is done. The EHR system has to be HIPAA compliant. They have to make sure that all of this data is saved and sent to the right person. I think you can pretty easily see why there are so many barriers to entry. Does everybody see why there are barriers to entry to this thing and why it has to be done in a very specific way and why we are so excited about this? Because we have that specific way, and that's what makes this so unique. So, Sheldon, regarding your question, do New York residents qualify? Not for CGX and PGX because Medicare does not do that, but there are certain other services that will be back here in CFN that they will be able to qualify for. And again, like I said, we'll have a whole session dedicated to it. We'll obviously need a lot more time to go over all the details of this, but does everybody understand the basic concept about this? Okay, basically you can go out there, you can offer this completely free, very good result, very good service to them, get them the results that will genuinely help them, in some cases actually help prevent cancers, help prevent medication that they might be on that's completely ineffective or might be causing side effects, things like that. You can take care of all of that stuff for them. And on top of that, it costs them nothing. Okay, so it's a very, very powerful opportunity. And like I said, it's just one of the opportunities inside UpGroup. Okay. Truce, why can New York not participate? The New York Medicare system does not work the same way, and they do not cover the CGX PGX the same way right now. Okay, so for CGX PGX, like I said, yes, so CGX and PGX, they need to be on Medicare Part B or they need to be on Medicaid in certain states. But hold your horses. Like I said, there are a lot of other things coming back there. There are a lot of different opportunities in UpGroup as well. So just that alone, just Medicare alone, just CGX, PGX is a massive, massive, massive opportunity, but it's actually going to get a lot bigger here soon. We can't go into all the details yet, but so we work basically every 3-week cycle. So every 3 weeks, new companies, new insurances, and new services are evaluated to be added into Carefree Now. And like I said, since we are the ones who built that electronic health record system, we are very intricately involved in that whole thing. And why we can make sure that these things are actually added in and made available to our users. Okay, so now let's come to the question of how, what Richard is asking, how quickly can we actually make money? How do we actually fit this into our overall income plan? Okay, does everybody have kind of that question in their mind as well? Okay, this sounds great. In principle, this sounds very exciting. How does this convert to money for me? Okay, beautiful. Because quite honestly, that's what I think everybody on the call is really here for. This is very exciting, but they want to figure out how does this actually work with our business. Okay, so keep in mind, this is what we have taught for a very, very long time. You have 2 kinds of incomes. Okay, you have short-term income and you have long-term income. You want to focus initially on your short-term quick income, and over time, you will also see a long-term income be created. Okay, so in the beginning, once you start working with UpGroup, let's look at this time period. This is going to be your first 3 months in the company. In your first 3 months in UpGroup, you want to focus on things that will pay you very, very quickly. That'll put money in your pocket right away. And those things are going to be building your sales team inside UpGroup. Okay, that's basically referring people to UpGroup itself. Those are the ones who are going to be responsible for check match for you over time, and it's going to pay you a commission when they join UpGroup. You're going to focus on metabolic design, where you'll be able to give away coupon codes for CBD products, where you have exclusive access to doctor-approved CBD products. And you will start working on Carefree Now. You will start maybe a little cautiously because you're kind of like, oh, I don't understand this thing. you can start referring people in your friends and family, people that you know personally. You can start referring them to Carefree Now. And what that's going to start doing is going to start building an income for you on Carefree Now side that's going to start building up over time. Okay, and I'll explain why that's going to happen in a second. In your second 3 months with the company, let's use a different color for this. In your second 3 months.
Hey, Tesher, your audio is fading a little bit. I don't know if you need to get closer to the mic or something.
Okay, how about now? Is
A little closer.
I'm actually literally wearing the headset, so I'm not sure I can get any closer. Okay, how about now? Is that better?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Can everybody in the chat hear me properly? If you can, say something like, you sound Indian. Okay. All right. So in your second 3 months, you're going to focus more and more on supporting your sales team and helping them grow, because that's where you're going to get the big check matches from. And you're going to start seeing residuals kick in from Carefree Now. Now, let me explain why that happens and how that actually works. The reason why you want to refer practically everyone that you can to Carefree Now, which is a free, complete, like I said, it's a free system. You just refer people in, even if they don't qualify. And remember, a lot of people won't qualify, and that's okay. Even if they don't qualify for CGX and PGX, what's going to happen is that as CFN adds more and more opportunities in there, it adds more and more services in there. There's a service that's currently actually in the process. It's currently being reviewed for diabetics, for example, or people who have certain conditions that mess with their blood circulation. When that system gets added in, that service gets added in, it then goes back and lets all the patients know, hey, looking at your medical records, it looks like you also qualify for this. You're going to have a physician contact you and add you onto this as well. And now suddenly, even though you didn't do anything new, they qualify for a new service. They receive that service, and you still receive a commission on that. Okay, so once you have sent people into this system, once you've sent people into Carefree Now, forever any new service that is added in, any new test that's added in, any new system that's added in, you are going to keep receiving commissions on all of those things as well. Okay, we call that a service fee that UpGroup receives, and then UpGroup turns that into a commission and sends that out to you. So right now, what you want to focus on, right in the beginning, you want to focus on developing your first check in the system. Your first check in the system is going to come from you developing your sales team in UpGroup, from you starting to go out there and take advantage of the big trend right now, which is CBDs, and just jumping into it and benefiting from it. Again, remember, there is no qualification requirement. You don't have to go out there and buy $2,000 worth of stuff. Obviously, we recommend using it if you are somebody who needs it. And you start helping put people into Carefree Now. In your next 3 months, most of your income is going to come from supporting your sales team, because you'll be getting those crazy check matches in 4 levels. And you will also be receiving the residuals as they kick in from CFN, as new things get added in. Now, in addition to this, there are also going to be new opportunities added into UpGroup. So right now we have these 3 primary opportunities: UpGroup itself, metabolic design, Carefree Now. We're actually going to be adding in 2 additional opportunities within the next 1 quarter. Okay, so the same thing happens there. All of your downline that is in UpGroup, all of the members you brought into UpGroup, now suddenly start benefiting from a new opportunity, and you also start earning from them. So now you don't have to jump to another company because a new trend started, or you don't have to jump to another company because a new service came out. You just automatically start receiving residuals on all of them, and you start receiving residuals on new opportunities added within the existing services. Does that make sense, guys? Can you see kind of why this is exciting and different from the way usually companies work? Lots of yeses. Absolutely. And yes, so just to clarify, you can be in New York and do this. You can earn your income doing this, but you cannot refer patients in New York. That's all that means. Okay, so you can be a New York member. You just can't refer patients from New York. That's all. So that's pretty straightforward. Okay. Now, who here at this point kind of sort of understands this and goes, okay, I totally see why this is a crazy, crazy opportunity, why this is such this new trend that is happening, this new way of doing business that's been created. And on top of that, we've added all sorts of awesome online marketing tools. We're going to go over that in a second with Kevin as well. but who here now understands why Rodney is so excited, why Rodney thinks this is the best thing for his team to make a lot of money with in 2019, and why we are very excited to be able to get on a webinar with not worrying about not being embarrassed that we are doing some nice slideshow and trying to pitch you on $1,000 crap. This is something that is a genuinely solid platform. It is exclusive. It has a high barrier to entry. It benefits from all the trends that are happening out there. It offers something very genuine. You have the ability to give things away, and you have the ability to build a massive sales team in here and build a tremendous income. This is usually the time that most presentations show you some chart. If you'd have put 5 and they got 5, you would suddenly have 8 billion people. We don't need to do that. I think everybody here understands what this means. This means that you now have the ability for barely any cost at all to go out there and genuinely give a very good service to many different people. Anybody that you know who is in an MLM, who is in any other opportunity, this message has to get their attention. The message is simple. We are giving something away that people need and can develop an amazing income doing it. Okay, and like I said, we're actually adding 2 more opportunities just like that. Just like CFN, we're adding 2 more opportunities, which you will also be able to give away and people will be able to benefit from, and you will actually earn on. So we're actually adding more of those as well. But that's a very powerful message. It's a very attractive message that gets people excited, gets people in here, and you will see this exodus from traditional opportunities, just like we saw 5 years ago with our previous companies. People will see an exodus from traditional companies, and they will come to this because they'll realize they can now make an income without hogging crap on their friends and family. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm sorry. I sometimes get a little excited about it, and my genuine disdain for the traditional marketing model sometimes shows through. Okay, so really quickly, guys, here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the AAA of business, which I hope everybody knows. Does everybody know the AAA of business, or do I need to explain it? Okay, this is the AAA of business. If you don't know about it, that's okay, because I literally just made it up. It's basically it's audience, angle, and amount. It's know your audience. Who is the audience that you're going after with your message? Who is the person listening to your message? The angle, which is how do you present your message? And you guys are already seeing this in action right now. How do you present your message? And finally, the amount, which is how much does someone need to pay to work with you? Okay. This is what's so powerful about the AAA system with this particular opportunity with UpGroup. Your audience is extremely clear. In this case, with Carefree now, it's anybody who is going to need or want healthcare services, which is a very, very large audience for you. So that checks out. That's awesome. The angle is amazing. You don't have to spend anything. This is something you will benefit from. And by the way, your children will benefit from. Your future generations will benefit from, because that genetic test can help you see if there are serious things to be worried about. You have a very nice angle for it. And finally, the amount is unbeatable because it's free for them. Okay. So this is awesome. If you take the same message and you look at UpGroup, your audience is anybody who is running a home business opportunity, is a part of any kind of network marketing company, anything of the sort. Any of you who are on this call right now, you have seen this play out. You are the audience. You are following Rodney. You saw the angle he pitched out there. Guys, I'm going to show you how to make a ton of money giving something away for free, for Purple Liquid in this case. That angle worked. I think everybody on here can attest to the fact that the angle worked really well. And then the amount is extremely attractive because you don't have to spend $500 to buy a set of shakes and then go out and pitch people on it. You actually have to spend very, very little amount of money to become part of the platform that gives you access to all these business centers and more as they become available. So you have this very strong structural system built into UpGroup, into every opportunity that's inside UpGroup, and hopefully that makes sense. So now all we need to do is figure out what your next step is going to be. Who's ready to actually think about what your next steps are going to be? Okay, so pretty much everybody. Awesome. So here is what we're going to do. So Dee, Steve, Pam, Kenneth, everybody who is ready for the next steps, I'm going to pass this over to Kevin. He's going to tell you in his soothing, non-Indian voice exactly what you need to do to get started with this, to do the next step, and get on our next webinar with us, which actually I believe starts in 30 minutes, doesn't it, Kev?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I'm going to do something real quick. I'm actually going to send everybody a link because everyone on here obviously came because of Rodney Burton made his post. So for those of you who are getting started with Rodney Burton, if you don't already have an account, guys, you can create one right here. I'm going to toss this in here. It's going out to you guys, okay? So there's the link right there. There's step number 1. And I'm going to share my screen real quick, okay? Let me grab this. Grab this. Here we go. You should see my screen. All right. And not only that, so you want to create your account there, okay? Matt says, I created my account 10 seconds after I watched the video replay. Very cool. Action taker. And I got another one for you. Here's another link for everybody. That's a webinar we're having at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, all right? That is coming up. You guys will be able to hop on that call with us, all right? It's going to be me. We're going to be doing it whiteboard style. Hopefully we'll have Hitesh on because we're going to have some Q&As going as well. And I just love to have him on, the self-deprecated.
Yep. I will try to be on there as your Indian jester. So desperately need. No, I'll be on there hopefully as well. And guys, just to clarify, this webinar that we're doing is actually going to focus on the first 3 months of your business with UpGroup, which is how are you going to create your immediate income? What are the steps that you're going to take to start becoming profitable right away? And then we're going to focus on actually also growing that over time. So, Kevin, is that correct? We're going to focus more on the first 3 months, the first block that I showed you guys, setting up your income immediately?
Yep, setting up your income, making sure your account's where it needs to be, your steps, you're registered for the webinars, and then you can go out there and actually start promoting exactly, specifically for those of you who are on here and saw how Rodney did it, those resources and those images that he posted, you guys will have access to this once you get an UpGroup, all right? You'll actually be able to come in here and grab some of these CFN resources, and they're right here, right? This might look familiar to you, okay? I saw a truly mind-blowing webinar. It's about, right? Does this look familiar? Give me a one in the chat that looks familiar, okay? So you guys can do exactly what he did. Post that on your wall, send it to the same link, and just like we had people on here immediately join, like dozens and dozens of them from within minutes of him posting that, you guys can do the same thing. You might not hit those levels, but you got to get started, right? And you can get started by just copying and pasting these posts out of the back office, okay? We have these kind of resources for you. So we're going to hop on and we're going to go through all of that and answer some more questions on Carefree and what we're doing there. You guys are going to see new capture pages being populated in the system. You're going to find out really quick that we do webinars all the time, like all the time. It gets nuts. Now, yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
go for
it. They inboxed me. They want to know when they read what the elite does, for those who want to become elite, it has information about Instagram marketing, Facebook marketing. When would those things be available for those who join the elite level and are looking for those tools? Okay,
so elite, here's how that's going to flow. We have our first elite webinar next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, where we're going to do an orientation to elite. We're going to go ahead and start mapping out all the training we're going to do in there. That's going to be geared more towards paid traffic for a lot of you. And what's cool about that, okay, about the paid traffic side of the house is look at this audience right here. Can you guys see my screen? Give me a 2 if you can see my screen real quick, okay? This is your audience for Carefree Now. This is just one audience that I looked up, okay? Medicare in the United States for people over 65. 5.6 million active people to advertise to on Facebook. So when we get into elite and I give you a sales funnel that is for elite people only, and I show you how to go ahead and create a fan page and target these folks, okay, by running a simple ad for $5 a day, that might get you some leads and some people going through the funnel, guys, okay? So we're going to be doing a lot of stuff like that. For those of you who don't know, my background is what I like to do. My passion is helping you go ahead and grow and scale your business. Pro is all about getting you started, getting an income, and helping you become the person you need to be to grow an income, right? Helping you be that person. Elite is more focused on the traffic generation, the lead generation side, to the point where we're actually going to be opening up co-ops to where you can purchase traffic in the system. Who's interested in that? Give me a yeah if you're interested in that, right? Being able to go purchase traffic into the system to build your organizations out, right? So that's why you'd want to be on Elite. Our first webinar when we're kicking off Elite is going to be Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, next Tuesday, right? So we already missed this week. Next Tuesday, we're going to be doing a kickoff webinar. I'm going to walk you through everything, and I'm actually going to take, what I do is, you guys will see this, I get on webinars and we'll map out what I'm going to teach and what I'm going to do and what we're going to do. And then I get the suggestions from my elite members, and you guys get to shape the course. Instead of me force feeding you, this is what you need to know all the time. I want to know what you're lacking. And then we get on live webinars and we do that. So I'm going to give you an example. On the pro webinar last night, people wanted time management. Who here would love some time management? You don't know how to manage your time. You don't know what to do. You get on Facebook, you spend 14 hours there, you get off, you're like, I hit like a million times, I left comments, but I didn't build my business. These are the kind of things that we do. So this is just in the pro level, right? That's a pro level kind of concept. So pro level, if you go back there, you'll see this bonus training just got added today, time management with me, where I walk you guys through exactly how to go ahead and how you're going to leverage your time, right? And give you Excel spreadsheets on how to do it. All right. So we get into a lot of training, guys, because this is about getting you to be the person that you need to be. All right. Let me see some income goals. What do you guys want to make online? Let's cut right to it. What kind of income level do you want to make? Okay. Give me a number in the chat. 10,000 a month, 15,000 a month, 30,000 a month. What are you looking to make? Okay. At least 10K, 10K. See, this is a lot of people are here that 100K a month. All right. You have to be a different person to hit that. I have to map out who that person is that makes $10,000 a month with you and get you there. What are they doing? Where are they driving traffic? How are they converting their leads? And how much help are they getting from me to do it? And at every step, the pro and the elite, you get help from me at pro and you get even more help from me at pro. I do retargeting campaigns on your behalf. I send out the emails for you. I automate as much as humanly possible for you to get those results, guys. All right. So when you get back here, right, you're going to see a current membership level right at the top. When you click on that, what you want to do is go ahead and upgrade to pro. If you're looking like, hey, I want to do some pro. If you're looking to get deeper into the marketing with me, right, get this elite. If you're looking to be able to purchase leads here, we're going to start opening that up pretty soon. It's not open right now. We're going to open it up pretty soon. We're going to go through all of this on that next Tuesday. All right, next Tuesday at 9 p.m. But you definitely want to either get a pro or an elite. Okay, either one, you want to get started. You want to get moving. You want to get going so you can promote and build a system and build an organization and get on these calls with me. All right, you need to do that. Okay, so that's what we do. Is there a way to change or modify my UI or my ID? Yes, go ahead and hit up support and they should be able to help you out. Can you upgrade at any time? Yeah, you can upgrade at any time. But definitely, if you come in here, I'll give you a warning. If you come in and you don't upgrade to pro, you're going to want to be wondering what is happening while behind the wall, all this stuff is going on. And your view and what you see and what you experience is not going to be what everyone else is experiencing. And you're going to see me post messages on Facebook that are, if I go to, let's go over here. You go to Up Group. Right? If I go in the Up Group official chat, you're going to see people in here that are posting and going crazy in the chat, right? And you're not going to know why. You're going to see that. You'll see that, right? Okay? You'll see that all of these people are like, this is insane. Pro is the place to be, right? The elite members are going to go nuts with this. But you're going to see this and you're not going to know why. You're like, I don't understand. What could these guys possibly be talking about right now? Why are people saying no doubt? Pro is the place to be. Absolutely. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. This is just on one pro webinar we had last night. So I want to make it very clear. You definitely want to upgrade, right? I mean, you can put your toe in and dabble around, but you're going to make a dabbler's income or probably nothing, right? Just being honest with you. Upgrade to pro, you get the best shot at getting an income started and growing. Upgrade to elite, you're going to see us do some crazy stuff with that traffic and be able to leverage things like this, whereas 5 to 6 million people are already 65 and above that are in here, right, that are on Facebook that you can target with ads that could go over and go to Carefree, hit this registration button, and start going through this process. Elite members will get these funnels, okay? So I just want to make that clear, okay? But you can upgrade at any time, for sure. For downline side, this is a good question, okay? So it's for the downline side.
There's one more question that I want to address really quick because there's a question about what is the affiliate fee to be able to promote Upgroup, and there is none. I want to be very, very clear about that. You don't have to pay an extra fee for the privilege of promoting. That's one of the things that we worked really hard to get rid of.
Yeah.
Every other company kind of does that. That's one of the ways that they build breakage that they call in the system. We call it kind of theft. what you do here is very simple. UpGroup is supposed to be a marketing platform for marketers. That's actually how we make these exclusive deals with these other companies. We go to Carefree Now and we say, we represent a marketing platform. We train our own agents that can go out there and do the marketing. We want an exclusive relationship with you. We do the same thing for metabolic design. We do the same thing for the 3 other verticals you're working on right now. And that's what the privilege that you have here is as well. You are a member of this marketing platform. You do not need to pay an extra fee to be able to promote it. That is already who you are. So you can actually start building your UpGroup business immediately. You can start referring people right away. You do not need to pay anything extra in addition to the $39 a month or the $99 a month. You also don't need to pay anything extra to become a member of Carefree Now or a member of Metabolic Design and start promoting them. All of those things, all of those extra costs are already taken care of for you. So you can throw that out of your mind. And yes, because of that, if you refer 3 people to UpGroup, because you get a 40% commission on the UpGroup itself, you're already profitable. You don't have an extra back-end cost to worry about. You're already profitable because if you refer 3 people at the $99 level, you're basically making about $120 in commissions every month. Okay? So hopefully that addresses that question and makes sense about all of that. Sorry to interrupt, Kevin. Please take it away.
No, it's great. It's great. I mean, people have to understand you're talking about multiple opportunities. And any one of these, right? If you were going to go promote a company that had CBDs, which I'll show you something, because this is gonna kind of shock you. Let me show you something, guys. All right, and then we got to move on because we got that call starting. So I'm going to show you. Let me show you something. You'll see this in some of the training. Okay, this is the competition. This is an isolate. This is a full spectrum. This is metabolic design, nice and gold, right? Give me a 1 for gold. Look at the competition. Green. There's crap floating in there, right? Look at this one. I don't even want to tell you what this stuff tastes like. It's disgusting. All right. So for those of you who are into CBDs and want to promote CBDs, you can do that. And you don't have to order a minimum amount. You don't have to pay any more. If you're a part of the UpGroup platform, you can now promote that opportunity. Carefree Now, if you're in a part of the UpGroup platform, you can go ahead and promote that. Okay. As we add more systems, more services, more opportunities, you'll be able to promote those as well for one price. And you're getting all the marketing training. I have a system where I would charge $97 a month, right? Or $2,000 to get on one of my courses. And I'm giving you guys that training. We're doing it in live, right? So just the training side, just the marketing training side, you would have to pay me that. You'd have to pay me $100 a month. You don't have to do that here, right? Just the marketing side. For the stuff we do in Elite, you'd have to pay me $2,000 for previously. And I'm just giving it to you. We're getting in there and going through it, and you get access to all this stuff. So pretty cool. I'm pretty excited, guys. Yeah. You know, so my UpGroup works. Is upgroup.com URL also because no, upgroup.io, guys. So I'm going to give you guys a link real quick one more time. I'm going to give you Rodney's link, and then we're going to hop off because that webinar that we put in here, we're starting that like right now. So let me find that link that I tossed in here earlier.
And while Kevin is doing that, guys, who all are we going to see on that next webinar? Because we would really like to have you guys on that webinar that's starting soon. And if you guys have more specific questions, now that you have a basic introduction to all of this, if you have more specific questions, we're going to go over all of that on there as well. See, this is what I like. This is so beautiful. So many me's and me and I'll be there. I'm on. Kenneth will be on. Terrence is on. Cedric is on. Felix, Cindy, this is awesome. I'm sorry, I'm going to start doing the thing that Kevin does where he reads everybody's name super fast and he acts all excited. I'm not cut out for that kind of stuff, guys, so I'm going to just let Kevin do it.
Come on, dude. Come on, dude. All right, so I'm going to give you this link one more time, guys. Send it to everybody. Go, make sure you sign up for that. Once you sign in, go to this current membership tab, click on that button, all right, and go get pro. Go get in there. Get in. I'll tell you what, you'll be able to get on webinars, get your questions answered. We're going to have a webinar right now. I'm going to give you a link for that as well, right here. I got some duns in here. What's up, Pam? Can't wait to see you on the webinar. Bam. And there's a link to go ahead and register for a webinar. This is our first commissions webinar. We're going to go over a lot of stuff. I'm excited because Hitesh is going to be on here, all right? And we'll walk you guys to the back office and answer any questions you have. You'll get to meet the rest of the family here in UpGroup, which is insane. You guys... There's already a Facebook group with 700 plus people in it. We got hundreds of members in this thing already. and we just opened doors. Get in. So with that, I'm done, man. If you got anything else, Rodney, if you got anything to say, I got to hop off and get ready for this next webinar.
Yeah, I want to say thank you for everybody who attended this great webinar with Hitesh and Kevin. We'll be on the next webinar that starts in a few seconds. Those who are in my group, make sure you get a hold of me. I also will be holding separate webinars, giving away some of my marketing secrets as well, as long as you're a paid member on my team. So guys, get excited. Thanks for being on the webinar, and I will see you on the next replay. Peace. And by the way, I'll make sure this is recorded. I will send it out, put it into the group, so make sure you are inside of the UP group. I will post this recording in the group once it is ready. Bye.